Welcome back, everyone, to the After the Scales podcast presented by DJD Graphics, episode 47. I'm Jacob Dove of Phenom Motorsports, along with Shaun Blight of the Canadian Racing Tours. On today's episode, we have a young, talented, upcoming dirt racer out of Oklahoma City. You probably heard of him if you follow wing sprint cars and USAC Midgets, Ryan TIMMS. Ryan, thanks for being on the podcast today.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on.
So Ryan, we've been kind of recapping the World Finals at Charlotte. Both Shaun and I were there. Just talk quickly about, you finished fourth on the Saturday night feature in the Liebig number 10. Kind of talk about how that, weekend went for you and carrying the momentum into next year into your full-time ride.
Yeah, well, that race and then a couple other high limit races that we had before that, they all went really well. There was a couple unlucky incidents that happened, but for the most part, we were all really happy with it, and we were getting down on ourselves after not being in the top five with the high limit guys. So when previously in the year, I'd be more than happy to get a top five with high limit or outlaws. So it's been really good working with those guys, working with Shane. He knows his stuff, that's for sure. And I don't know what it is really. We just click really well and get along really well, and really excited to do at least 50 races with them next year.
Yeah, Ryan, you kind of touched on what I was going to ask you about, just kind of gelling and having success early. We saw with Justin Peck and those Rudine guys also. In terms of guys starting with new teams, you and Justin were kind of the class of the field. How did that ride come together for you guys?
Yeah, so after I ran Forbrook's car, we were kind of just like looking for rides, just whatever I could get in, run it, see how it goes, and hoping that something would click with one of the teams I got with. And we ran with Forbrook there, and we had a lot of success with him right off the bat. We got a quick time in Knoxville, won a local show at Husitz, and we got along really well. And Shane and Guy Forbrook, they're good buddies. And Shane Liebig, he was looking for a driver for. Initially, it was Joliet with the Outlaws, and he wanted to go run those races. But Guy suggested me go run for him. But I was busy running a midget or something, and I couldn't do it. So we decided that we'd run I-70 in Lucas Oil, and there was just going to be those that week and go on our separate ways. And so Guy he hooked me up there, and then we clicked really well right off the bat, and it was just the most unexpected thing. I've seen this car run. I've raced against Scott Boguski in it at Husitz and Knoxville and a couple other places a handful of times, and I knew it was a good car. I didn't think it was anything special, no better than what we had, and then to go out and have the success we did, it was pretty surreal and just kind of a blessing. It's just super crazy, not having any plans for next year really, and didn't know what the future looked like or whose car to run or anything like that. And then this deal just randomly came together and just got really lucky with it.
Yeah, speaking of rides, Ryan, you started out the year in your family-owned number 5T, and then you dabbled with the Hefner number 27, and recently you've got the chance to run the Roth Motorsports number 83 car after James McFadden departing and going back to Australia. Obviously, you set your sights on the Liebig number 10 for next year, but talk about you ran the 83 car with Roth. Talk about that experience, because obviously that's a huge well-known team in the sprint car scene. So talk about that experience with them.
Yeah, that was really cool. I'm very fortunate to be able to run for such a big team and a team with so much success. We ran Trophy Cup with them, and then 2 NARC shows at Kern and Hanford, and it went good. got along. We all got along really well. I enjoyed working with all of them. Just nothing really ever came from it. I think they were just those races were right in their backyard, and I was wanting to run Trophy Cup really bad. And initially, it was just Trophy Cup, and then after that, we decided to hit 2 NARC shows with them, and that was a lot of fun. That I was actually the best I've ever ran at Hanford and Kern was with them. So I had a lot of speed with them. Just nothing that really came from it, and uh, then the 10 cardio came about. So that's kind of what we decided to do.
All right, you got a big week coming up, and I want to ask you about that in a bit. But first, I wanted to ask you, for those who might not know, and you're a young guy now, but how old were you when you started racing? What was your first race car? Where did you first race at? And what's your family's background in the sport?
My first ever race, it was in a junior sprint at I-44 Speedway, which is like 5 minutes from my house here in Oklahoma City. And I actually hated it when I first started. I think I got wrecked or something in practice, and I quit there for a little bit, and then decided I wanted to get back in it. And so I started racing junior sprints between here, mainly I-44 to start out, and then we would go to Tulsa every now and again to run at Port City Raceway, and then just slowly worked my way up through all the micro ranks as junior, restrictor, A class, non-wing, all that. And then finally got into midgets and sprint cars, and then it's led to what it is. But my dad, he raced modifieds and late models, dirt modifieds, late models. A lot of most of his career was modifieds. Not really, kind of local. A lot of tracks around here, like before I was even born, the OKC Fairgrounds and Enid, Ardmore, just places around Oklahoma. And then he started getting into like MLRA late models, and I grew up going to all those races with him. And but I enjoyed it a lot, actually. That's kind of what got me into racing, was just being around his racing. So I'm not really 100% sure why he decided to put me in a micro open wheel, but really glad he did. And even when I would go to like his late model races, I thought it was cool, race cars going around a racetrack, but there was nothing really special about it. And then I started seeing Lucas Oil sprint car races on Mav TV when I was just starting to race, and that really caught my attention. And I would watch like the main guy I remember is Blake Hahn. I think it was just ASCS races like I put on Mav, or maybe it was Hockett reruns or something. But I was really into those, and I just happened to be on the path of going sprint cars, and that's what we did.
You have to say that, your dad made a good choice of putting you with the open stuff because, you have over 100 feature wins between the micros, the midgets, the 360 sprint, and the 410 sprint. This year alone, in 2024 and 45 or 55 starts, you had 2 wins, 10 top fives, 19 top tens. And then overall, on your racing year that you had 10 wins total between the 410, 360, and the midget. Talk about, you dabbling between the sprint car and the midget. USAC is really competitive. You're competing against top guys and really good equipment with Keith. Talk about Keith Kunz as a whole, as a program, how much he's helped you with your young racing career.
Yeah, the Keith Kunz deal was really cool. When I actually would say when I was younger, I was a bigger fan of my micro races. We'd sometimes go to bigger ones where there would be USAC midgets, and at the time you had like Logan Seavey, Grant, just all the USAC veterans that were running, and it was definitely, Courtney was still in there, definitely a lot more competitive then. But that was kind of what I wanted to do when I was really young. And then I got more into the sprint cars, and when the Keith Kunz deal presented itself to go run their house car for him, it was kind of a dream come true in a way. I felt like it'd be really dumb not to do it, especially, I mean, you don't see it happen much anymore, but like Bell, he went through that route and made it to pavement. And so I figured, there's no harm in trying it. And I enjoyed the whole journey of it, the 2 full years I did with them. It's been a lot of fun. I've met a lot of new people through it, and it's been fun working with Bo, who's my crew chief now. Jarrett, he was my crew chief when I first got there, and then Pete, Keith, they've all been really supportive of me and believed in me the whole time, and just want nothing but the best for me. So that whole deal is just really cool.
All right, now talk about your week ahead. You're flying out tomorrow to California. Huge week of midget racing. So give us a little preview of your week ahead.
Yeah, I mean, not much. I'll fly out to California tomorrow. Just chill out, get some dinner, hang out at the hotel, race, and then I heard Merced isn't looking too promising with weather, so we'll kind of wait that out. See, hopefully it doesn't rain out. Get those two in, and then I got some family in Phoenix that we're gonna go spend Thanksgiving with in between Ventura and Bakersfield, I believe, and then get out to Ventura and finish the year off, and then start getting ready for Shootout and Chili Bowl.
Yeah, Ryan, you currently sit third in the USAC Midget points, just behind your teammate at Keith Kunz Motorsports, Cannon McIntosh, and then Dason Pursley's been really good this year, currently first in points with the CB Industry guys. Talk about, what are some of your goals? Obviously, you want to win the last remaining races of the year, but kind of carrying the momentum going into the Tall Shootout and Chili Bowl with the whole midget scene.
Yeah, as far as the USAC points go, just gonna have to put the whole week together and do the best I can every night, and hopefully, the goal is really to be on a podium every single night. Well, you want to win every night, but at least get on the podium every night. But yeah, I mean, you gotta just wait and see what happens. Anything can happen, the top two could have just a terrible week, bad luck. I could have a great week. So, or it could go vice versa. Who knows? So, just go out there, do the best you can. Whatever happens, happens, and just kind of roll with it. And then take what you learn there and try to apply it to Chili Bowl, even though it's a whole different ball game. But yeah, just try to do the best you can and learn as much as you can.
All right, so let's get into the Chili Bowl, because I've actually, Ryan, last week I found out I've got an opportunity to go. You're an Oklahoma guy. I've never been. Obviously, I watch it on TV every year, and it looks like just an amazing event. Tell me what I'm in for. What am I going to expect as a fan going to the Chili Bowl for the first time?
Well, I guess it kind of depends where you sit and what you're trying to do. If you're just trying to be a normal race fan,
I like to have a good time. I'll put it that way.
Then, yeah, well, there's plenty of that going on at Chili Bowl. I'd say make your way to the Rowdies, and there's plenty of action going on over there. That's me and my buddies will go sit over there just to hang out and be around the good energy, I guess. And it definitely makes the racing more exciting if you're over in the Rowdies. They're all pumped up all the time. So there's a ton of people there. The beginning of the week starts off kind of slow, but by Wednesday and Thursday, all the way through Saturday, it's jam packed in there, and it's just awesome. It's exactly what you would think Chili Bowl would be, if not maybe more than what you're expecting. But take plenty of not melatonin, vitamin C. You get sick easily in there.
Yeah.
But and bring your coat. It gets cold.
And not so far along with the Chili Bowl. The racing season starts in 2025, just around the corner. There's really no off season in racing. So going into 2025, you have this opportunity with Liebig and the number 10 car. Will the midget for you kind of take a back seat? Will you still be able to make some appearances running, or will it be your main focus to focus on the 410 sprint car and put a whole year together?
Yeah, I'm not really sure yet. I know I'm not running any series with the midget or with the sprint car. I'm committing to at least 50 races with Liebig, and then maybe I run 20 or 30 with another team or with my own stuff, or and then I might run. There's a couple tracks in the midget I want to hit next year, but I don't know. Just kind of gonna play it by ear and see how I'm feeling when it gets closer to that time. I don't want to get out of the sprint car, get in the midget, and then be kind of rusty when I get back in the sprint car. So, um, I'd I'd say as of now, I'm probably just gonna focus on sprint cars. There's a couple tracks in the midget I do want to run, like Lawrenceburg, Eldora, maybe. Those were my top two favorite tracks. I think mainly just because you drive it more like a wing car in a midget there than you do actually driving a midget. But uh, who knows? I might just I'm most likely gonna run Chili Bowl, um, but I don't really know yet. We'll just kind of I don't schedule things very well. I just kind of go with the flow and decide what I want to do when it gets closer.
All right, so that ties into what I was going to ask next. With leaving for next year, obviously the World of Outlaws schedule hasn't come out yet. It should come out in the next week or two. Have you guys had a chance to sit down and kind of plan out some of the events? Obviously, the crown jewel ones I would expect you to be at, but are there any other kind of events you're looking at next year?
I gave him a list of 10 races I wanted to run, and then he's got 10 he really wants to run. But I know that we're definitely running all 7 races at Jackson, and then probably going to be at Knoxville. We're not going to run the full Knoxville points deal, but going to probably be at a lot of Knoxville shows, especially right before Knoxville Nationals. Probably gonna hit a few Houston shows a good bit, especially before the High Bank Nationals, and then um, the the tough part is their race team is located in Rapid City, South Dakota, and the closest track to them is Houston, which is 6 hours. Maybe it's 5. It's somewhere around there, and then the second one is Knoxville, which is uh, 10 hours. So everywhere for them is a haul, so it makes it hard to do a lot of races, especially ones that are far away. But yeah, I mean, we'll hit like the ones I know for sure of: Kings Royal, Tusky most likely, Knoxville Nationals obviously, and then a couple big like midweek high limit shows, stuff like that. So just gonna kind of I think it's gonna be more of a when we get a month or 3 weeks out, we'll look at all the races and then make a decision on where we want to go or if we want to take an off season or whatever. But it also depends on me if I tear too much stuff up or if we go through the season smooth sailing. So we'll just kind of see how it goes. If we do make it to the season without tearing a whole lot of stuff up, I would think that we'll probably do more races than 50. But that's what I'm hoping for at least. But we'll just see.
Before Shaun gets into our DJD gear rapid fire segment, I wanted to let our viewers know if you go over to the top corner, you can scan the QR code and that'll take you to all the Ryan TIMMS merch. Check it out. Go support him, buy a t-shirt, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot of new cool merch for next year as well. Before Shaun gets into our rapid fire, I wanted to ask Ryan, I couldn't help but see in the background of the room, I saw a Crawford 55 with the state of Oklahoma outlined. That's a really cool piece. Obviously very sentimental to Oklahoma and the whole, Tulsa shootout and the Chili Bowl. Talk about, his influence on you and the whole overall influence that he's had and all the people who have ran in that building.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, a lot of if you race micros in Oklahoma, you definitely know the Crawford family, and just the whole story and everything about Donnie Ray. I'm obviously too young to have been around Donnie Ray when he was racing, but I know a lot of people that have, and I've heard a lot of good stories. And the Donnie Ray family, they have a midget race there every year, or put on a midget race, and it's $555 to win, 55 laps, and then I think it's $55 for every lap you lead or something. So it's cool that they're still doing it, and it's still carrying on. They have a Donnie Ray. I think they still do. At least when I raced micros, they always had a Donnie Ray Crawford Memorial race at Port City for the micros, which that was always a huge deal to be able to win that in any class. And then so his name is it's very well known, especially around here. I think it's known pretty well nationally, and it's cool to be able to have like something like a Donnie Ray trophy or something with Donnie Ray's name on it, just to kind of carry on the legacy, I guess. But yeah, especially the Oklahoma people, it's a little more special.
All right, I got one last one here because Jacob brought up your merch, and I was
Mm-hmm.
going through it last night, looking at some things, and I know you're going to have some new stuff with the 10 car, but this one caught my eye. You have some shirts with the Caddyshack theme on it.
Mm-hmm.
That movie's older than I am.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind that? Because that's really cool.
Yeah, it's nothing super crazy. I've only seen the Caddyshack movie once, and I watched it because we got those shirts made. So I couldn't have shirts and say I've never seen Caddyshack. But about a year, maybe just a little over a year ago, I got super into golf, and pretty much I'd play 18 holes twice in one day. I was so hooked on it, and my dad thought it'd be a great idea to get Caddyshack shirts made since I was super into golf. And then we had 5T golf balls made. I don't think we ever sold any of them, but yeah, so that's the story behind the Caddyshack shirt. My dad is a big Caddyshack fan, so it was really
Yeah,
more his idea, but
like I was saying,
yeah. So with my golfing, and then I suck at golf, but I still like to do it. And then him liking Caddyshack came up with that.
yeah, it's one of the movies. Like I said, it's older than I am, and I won't tell you how
Yeah.
old I am, but
Uh-huh.
it's still like I can watch it once a year and laugh
Yeah.
like that's the first time I've seen it. So,
Yeah.
all right, we really appreciate you coming on, Ryan. I know you
So,
got a busy week, and we thank you for your time. Just before we let you go, real quick, we've got our DJD Gear Rapid Fire segment. We've got 10 questions for you, and you just answer whatever comes to mind. Who nicknamed you Flying Ryan?
my dad and grandpa.
All right, what's your favorite thing to do in OKC?
There's not a whole lot to do around here. I'd say golf.
All right, Sooners or Cowboys?
Sooners.
What's the best thing to do outside of the track at the Chili Bowl?
I just hang out with my buddies, and I just tag along for the ride. We don't really do a whole lot. Maybe go to the casino.
What would you rather win, the Chili Bowl or the Knoxville Nationals?
Chili Bowl. Oh wait, Knoxville Nationals. That's a hard pick. I don't know. We'll go Knoxville.
That's why we do this segment. We like to challenge
Yeah.
you. All right, who's your favorite athlete outside of racing?
Russell Westbrook. OKC.
All right. If you could race just one racetrack for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I'd have to go Tulare or Placerville in a sprint car.
All right. And
Or Chico.
and what's one racetrack that you haven't been on yet that you really want to get to? You've raced a lot of them.
I can't even. Paris. Paris in California.
Okay. What's your favorite song in your playlist rotation right now?
Dog Food by 42 Doug.
All right. And we've got the $1 million question. The entire racing community has been asking themselves this all summer. Why did you shave your head, and does it make you faster?
I don't know. I mean, it appears to have made me a little faster. I shaved my head. I was just sitting on the couch one day, and I get, especially when like if I go work out or run, I got hair all in my face. I got so tired of having hair right here in my face. So I took the razors to it and took it all off, clean off. I'm very happy I did it.
It's got to be good for at least a couple tenths at Chili Bowl
Oh,
for sure.
oh yeah, especially
Yeah.
for weight, aero, all that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of been a killer with the ladies. They don't like to shave head, but it grows back.
I was gonna say you did have the beautiful flowing locks before, so
Yeah,
yeah.
they'll come back.
Well,
They
I
will.
have to say, if this video gets over 1,000 views, I will get a haircut. Not
Take
maybe
it all off.
mine, but I will shave all the hair off the back. So if this video gets
All
1,000
right.
views, I'll go up on it. So.
Well, I'm gonna
Right.
keep checking in to see if it hits 1,000.
All right, Ryan. Again, thanks a lot. Good luck this week, and
Thank you.
I'll see you at Chili Bowl. I can't wait for that.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll see you there. Thank you guys for having me on, and thank you for the merch plug. I appreciate it.
Scales is proudly presented by DJD Graphics. From commercial and personal vehicles to racing bikes and cars of all makes, models, and disciplines, DJD Graphics can fully customize your vehicle to suit your needs. For more information, contact Darren and visit his website at www.djdgraphics.com. Tell him Shaun and Jacob sent you to receive special rates.